Hello, okay, welcome to my channel where I talk mostly about watercolour. Now today I'm just going to talk about a couple of painting sketches that I did in my sketchbook. Okay, so I've used a technique called blending in these paintings to transition from one colour to the next. Okay, so this is the first one I'm going to talk about and this one is the second. I did actually do a first sketch where I didn't blend the colours quite so much, and I don't love this painting, but I did take some ideas into my next two paintings, some of these lines, and I used the same colours, although I did end up adding an ultramarine blue, which I put quite spontaneously on top of the Paynes Grey. I didn't quite like the Cerulean blue so much at the top, so for the next one I added a Phthalo turquoise instead, and I blended it in quite a bit more. I still really like the blues. I think the top part worked out okay, but there's probably room for improvement there. Okay, so for the first one I used Cerulean blue with brown madder and then Paynes Grey, and then I put my ultramarine on at the end. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but I talk quite often about putting the paint down and leaving it. But with a blending technique, you put your paints down and while they're both still wet, you go back in with your brush and you blend the colours together and get rid of the hard edges. Now I've used this technique before, but not for a while, so that's why I'm doing it in my sketchbook, because I'm really just kind of experimenting, and what happens is that the paints mix together on the page. So for example, this brown madder and the Paynes Grey mixed together, and they actually made a really nice neutral sort of grey colour, which you see just under the brown madder. Now what happened with this painting was I got to this stage and I felt like it needed something like a lift, so I dropped the ultramarine onto the Paynes Grey, and I found that that actually worked really well, and the ultramarine is still quite bright. So this was, you know, a happy accident that I discovered while doing the sketch, and that is why doing things in your sketchbook and experimenting is so important. Okay, so for the next one I swapped my Cerulean blue for a Phthalo turquoise, but other than that I used the same colours, and I exaggerated this ultramarine on the Paynes Grey even more, and I really like the way it turned out. But I'm going to put the music up for the rest of this video, and I really hope that it might inspire you to get your sketchbook out and test out some colours you might not usually use, and maybe create some imperfect paintings just like I have done, but hopefully with some really great things in them that you can use to move on to the next painting or idea. Okay, let me know how you get on in the comments if you want, and hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye.